email address in the.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another evening with Iowa Pagan News on the Prairie Land Radio Network. And this evening, we will be joined by Ciarin Diaz from Boston. He is a Boston witch. He's also got several groups on Facebook that he is currently leading, and also he's a part of a study group as well up in that area. And I'm hoping that we'll get some people chiming in from his study group tonight. Ciaran is running just a couple of minutes behind schedule here. He is en route, so we'll be expecting him here shortly. So, in the meantime, we're just going to get caught up on a few things, and we'll get into a little bit of discussion about uh, our show last night, which was the both of us felt that it was a complete success with
Absolutely.
a lot of people chiming in and being a part of it.
We should probably talk about, or at least give mention to the fact that there are two types of interviews that we do.
Mm-hmm.
There's the community builder, which is where we kind of we bring our guests in who have like businesses and services and things that they're offering out to other people, and we kind of get to know them and do a little bit of promotion about their business. And then there's the unity builders like we had last night, where I mean, our guest is uh, the feature, but it's more about what's going on in the community and how we can unite ways
Mm-hmm.
of thinking and attitudes and
Exactly.
practices within the community as a whole, not just you do this and you do that. Last night was
Right.
a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, last night was a lot of fun for both of us. Um, Yeah, I just felt it is a total success all the way around with all the group participation. Um, so I really appreciated that from everybody. Okay, and it looks like Ciaran is here with
I'm
us.
here. I'm almost home. I'm sorry.
Hey, you're
You're good,
okay
man.
there,
What
brother.
an entrance.
And I'm rocking the witch hat all
The
day
witch
too.
hat, yes.
All day in the city of Boston. You got to see the looks I got on these buses.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Oh my God, I love it.
Do
People
you
need to
guys
wait.
do you guys still really get like weird looks from people?
Who, me? Every day. I get weird looks. I get questions. I get Some people actually do ask questions. I have to wear my mask coming inside this building real quick. Give me 1 second.
Do you, man? Do you?
Uh, I was hoping that everything went so fast that I was hoping to make it here on time, and I did.
Great
Yeah, you're
job.
good there, brother.
It's all about timing, y'all.
Oh yeah.
How you doing? I say hi, security guard. Give me one elevator, and then I'll go upstairs to the 12th floor. That's my office.
Excellent. Yeah, we were
Oh,
just discussing the success of our Wednesday night chat last night.
oh my God, that was so beautiful yesterday. I had such a good time.
Yeah, the
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
participation that
I had a good time.
we were having last night just uh, really made it very worthwhile and brought about a lot of good subjects and yeah, just brought about a really good sense of unity and community, like what we promote here.
Y'all
Um,
touched a lot of good ground yesterday. I know
Oh
that.
mhm.
yeah, yeah. It was
A lot
great.
of good ground that needed to be touched. A lot of subjects that needed to be talked about. See,
That
what
is
I'm trying to do is simple. I'm just trying to do is to educate people on what the meaning of what the word witch really stands for.
mm-hmm,
That's it. That's all I'm trying to do. We're magical creatures. We're not like everybody else's.
right.
We have a lot of things going on for ourselves in ways that we could never imagine or discuss or probably even try to explain.
Right.
Me personally, as a witch, I started noticing things at a very early age because of the ancestral stuff like grandmother's been feeding into me and giving me information, knowledge. So I started practicing some things on my own and successfully has brought me to where I'm at now. So if witchcraft exists in my eyes, as much as the air I breathe, because I use
Oh,
it on a daily basis, either on myself or to help others every day. You can look at my
mhm.
comments in my groups and you'll see the success I have.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And because you and I had a very good conversation that very first night,
Yes, we
right
did.
after your conversation with Brother Harold, and you and I connected up, and we had a really good chat. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to tonight having you on
Certainly.
here, and hopefully we'll have some people from your study group joining us as well. Hopefully,
Yeah, they should be on. I told them they'll be on today. Maybe I'm
cool,
even rocking my shirt.
cool.
Like a
Sorry,
father
guys.
figure.
I'm trying to get the links shared out
That's okay. Let me know if it
while you
freezes, because
guys are talking.
sometimes
So
Hmm.
where I'm at right now, it tends to freeze. So if it does, let me know.
it did.
It
Yep.
did, right? That was
Yeah.
that was that section right there. Okay, so I'll stand back here. So this is what I see from Boston. I don't know if I can turn the camera around, but I wish I can show y'all because this is it's gonna be hard because of the light and everything. But I'm on the 12th floor, and then you can see all of what we where I live at, which is called Roxbury. This is a beautiful thing out here. There are a lot of hidden witches out here, just like there's a lot of hidden witches out there.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's the question of how you want to approach to get their attention. Sometimes you got their attention already. They just don't know how to approach you.
Right.
True. That's very true.
So you got to be that icebreaker sometimes. They ask you, a witch? I am. Do you do evil stuff? I can, but I choose not to. Can you curse someone? I have, but I have no desire to do none right now. What
Right.
I'm trying to say is every witch, like every person in this life, have a choice. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, no matter how you want to explain it, whether it's simple or not, choices are always going to be there. For the curious mind, which is now the young practitioners, which go into the subject of yesterday's chat, term baby witch. When I was growing up, that was never a thing. When I grew up, we were all young, called either young witches or young practitioners.
Hmm.
This new baby witch thing, I accept it if you want to be called that, but I don't think that's a term because I have young witches that are 70 something thousand years old right now still wanting to learn. So the
Yep.
baby witch thing, it could hit any age.
Right.
But I prefer the young practitioner because it's more common and it's more traditional.
It is
And
more common and traditional within the community. My concern stems to the people who are coming in from without the community. I mean, your family, you came up in it.
Hmm.
There are
Yes, I
people
did.
who did not. There are people who are I mean, growing up in staunch Christian families like I did, we didn't know.
Most people
I
don't.
didn't know when I came in what a new young or somebody who'd never experienced any of this before was called.
hmm.
But then again, sometimes you maybe had experience, you just don't have an explanation for it.
Right.
It
So
usually happens between 7 and 15.
yeah, yeah.
That's
But
usually the age you start. I'm sorry, go ahead.
have you noticed the stance that the community seems to have taken against the term? Don't call
Yes.
yourself that.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I've been seeing a lot of negative feedback. You're right.
Why not?
I don't, like I said, I go with whatever it is you want to call yourself in life. You want to call yourself a baby, which then a baby, which you're going to be. Doesn't mean I'm going to treat you like one. Ain't nothing was easy for me, so I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure ain't nothing gonna be easy for you. But when it comes to that term, look, it's whoever feels comfortable with whatever they want to be called. You want to be called a baby witch, then you're a baby witch you want to be. You want to be called a young practitioner or a young witch, then be it. For me, it doesn't really matter what term you use before the word witch. You are a witch in practice. We
I know
all eat,
people that don't want to be called witch. They want to be called
and it's
yogi. They
okay.
want to be called
Yeah, I know friends and family that do the
Mhm.
same thing. Oh, I don't want to be called a witch, but I practice witchcraft. You
right.
don't have to. It's an option. It's not an obligation.
Right.
You don't have to be like other faiths out there where they hold their whatever they have around their chests with pride. I do it every day. I don't hide it from nobody because there's
Mhm.
nothing to hide. Like I said, today I rocked all day with my witch hat. Got it at the Salvation Army for $3.99. Because
Cool.
I asked the lady if y'all had any Halloween costumes left or anything. She said, I think we got some stuff in a box, and I found this hat, $3.99. I'm like, I'm rocking it. I wore it all day. This one situation did happen with this baby term because I was trying to put some things together, and I remember this one guy. He came to me. He goes, "But I want to be called myself a baby witch." This is a 40-year-old man. I
Hmm.
said, "You can call yourself a baby witch if you like, but young practitioner, it doesn't matter. What would you like to be called?" He goes, "Well, I kind of like the baby term and all this stuff. Then that's what you should be called. Here's your first lesson. Learn something."
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
I try to look at it as a sign over somebody's head that I'm new and I need guidance.
Or I'm new and I will fuck up if you don't let me. Sorry for my Russian.
You,
Sorry
yes,
about that,
there
Earl.
is that, and
Sorry about that, Earl. Sorry about that. It comes
You're
out
good,
sometimes.
brother.
I'm really
You're
sorry. I'm
good.
sorry.
I think
You're good, brother.
that's an important point that we need to bring up, because I think the reason that it's such a negative connotation within the community right now is because there is that fear that people are gonna, as you said, fuck up.
Hmm.
Is that okay, Earl?
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
So
You know,
one of the
if people are, the fear is that people that are coming in and don't know, they're gonna mess up,
hmm
and
this goes to
we don't
this
want
goes.
that.
Como te digo?
We don't want that. Um, I think it comes down to, we don't want that image of a
True.
bunch of people that don't know what they're doing, running around doing stuff, because
Hmm.
That's
it
why.
reflects
Yep.
badly on the group.
That's very true. That's very true, and that's a wild thought to think about.
Yep.
That's
I know
How
what
do
you
on
we
mean.
my
change that, in your opinion?
in my groups. What I usually say is, when you want to approach witchcraft, approach it with an open mind and an open heart. No matter
Mhm.
what you want to be called in your life, whether baby witch or whatever, just do what you got to do. Practice what you got to practice. Ask the questions you don't normally ask nobody who that practices this craft. Because if you don't scream, nobody gonna hear you.
Right.
Right.
And we can't mind read everybody. We can't tell who wants to learn to be a witch or not. We got to meet them halfway, just like I tell these young witches: meet me halfway, and I will grant you a passage. You have my word.
Right.
But we have to help them just as much
Mhm.
because they don't have nowhere to go. These young witches are lost right now, y'all. They lost. This is why I created We Are Young Witches. I'm damn near 200. I passed 200 members already.
Nice.
And the reason for this
Very
group
good.
is for them to approach witchcraft with an open mind. If it's for you, it's for you. And if it's not for you, all right. But you learn something different from the conventional traditions of other religions that you were raised around in your life.
Yeah,
So
that's what kind of struck me with it, was the people that I was hearing the negativity from were like, um, and that was what struck me. It was like, how is this
Hmm.
any different from the Christianity that people are trying to escape right now?
someone asked me the other day, no lie, do you believe in God? I asked her which one. She looked at me again. She said, I'm gonna ask you again. I said, okay, do you believe in God? I said, no. She said, can you explain to me why don't you believe in God? I said, you really want to go there? She goes, yeah. I said, okay. I'm 24 years old. My 14-year-old cousin is getting bothered by her own uncle. Where is your God preventing that from happening? Or any type of protection? I told her, go ahead, I'll wait. She said, the Lord is everywhere. But I said, no, he's not. You're going to tell me that if something good happens, it's his will. Something bad happens, he works in mysterious ways. My father does that among the living every day. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So you can't tell me, are you going to force me to believe and see something that I've never seen and felt in my life? Magic, witchcraft, I feel it because I know it's there because I use it every day. A Christian can't tell me God runs your life. No, it doesn't. The universe runs my life. I'm here right now because the universe is giving me instructions to do things, and I'm doing it without question. Everything is happening for a reason.
Yep.
Nothing is a mistake unless you mentally do it on purpose.
Right. It's
So
felt
this
like
young youth is up to us because later on in life we're going to be the new ancestors they're going to be talking to.
Right.
yeah, that's
So
true.
it's up to us to bring these one up and make them know that the path they're choosing, make sure it's the path you want to be, what you want to be in life.
And
And
they're
it's
the
like
ones that are going to come in. They're the ones that are going to bring in the groups after us. They need to know.
that's the bigger picture.
Yep.
That's the bigger
Exactly.
picture. I always tell people, don't be the witch you want to be. Be the witch. Don't be the witch you want. No, be the witch you want to be. Don't be the witch you want the world to see.
Right.
There's a lot behind that because most people, like you said earlier, are either afraid, timid, or they just don't want to because they don't know what reaction they'll get.
Right. Felt
I
like
use myself at. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, it felt like an incident that I had. Oh, let's see. This was after I had first come into the community, and basically is well, let's see. Yeah, it was even after I had received my ordination as a minister. Um,
I got ordained
and
last year.
cool.
I
And
did.
basically, I had someone in the community, a lady approached me and said that, and tried telling me that because I'm not a witch, I can't perform hand fastings. I looked her dead in the eye and said, prove it.
Thank you. Well, I would have said the same thing. I mean, you
And
got proof?
yeah, I'm like, lady, go away. It's like,
No, you
Nah,
can't do it.
I,
Watch me.
yeah, it's like, I got better things to do.
I've been, look, man, that other
Yeah,
faith right there, it's not easy.
yeah. Yeah. Then the funny part, I think I told you this, is like, yeah, I mean, I've got the capabilities of performing spells, performing
Mhm.
hexes if I absolutely have to. I don't want to,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I did. I had a funny incident where it wasn't actually cursing somebody, but something, and
Different.
is actually a coworker's computer. And about a couple minutes later, I'm hearing bing, and Neil say his computer fried. Like, it's like
Good. It goes to show
I'm like, did I really do that? It was like,
That
that's
was my
that's the
first realization. Yeah,
yeah,
that was kind of
that was
what
my
brought
first
me in full
realization too.
fledged.
'Cause I didn't say nothing, and it took him a week to rebuild that computer. Like, oh, I didn't.
yeah. You
It's
fried a
like,
whole bunch of stuff in there.
yeah, I fried the whole thing. Like, oh, I did not know I could do that, but yeah, I learned.
When I was,
But
I'm gonna share something with you. Computer was fried. I like see. You're the second one that I've heard in my lifetime to actually do something to something electronic and make things happen. The first time I saw actually witnessed it was at high school when I was 15 here in New Jersey. Saw this one kid get angry at Mr. Horton. He was a computer teacher, and the kid said some words and he threw something. It wasn't a liquid. It was just a little piece of something. And for some reason, they had to replace the whole computer, and the lights went out in the whole building for at least an hour.
oh, gee,
I became the I still speak to this boy guy now of four children on Facebook. We still friends. I'm gonna share something with y'all. A lot of people See, this is what I like about witchcraft. We can also perform miracles. We're not also performing just magic to make a person's life better, easier, safer, or whatever. We also do miracles, sometimes hidden behind people's eyes because we just don't want the attention.
Hmm.
Have you brought somebody or some animal back from the light from dead?
Not personally, no.
Nope.
I did
Well,
at 18.
Well, okay. Actually, yes, I did have a hand in it when I was running as an EMT, and
There you go.
we had a patient code on us halfway to the hospital, performed CPR, and we had her back by the time that we hit the ER. Um, and yeah, I was one of them who was resuscitating our patient. And so, yes, I did have a hand in uh, keeping her alive.
Nice.
I
Those are good.
resuscitated a few puppies and kittens at birth.
There you go.
It wasn't.
My come on, there you go. No, you can go ahead. I'm just thinking here. I think aloud. Sorry.
It wasn't at the time. It wasn't a magical thing. There wasn't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that was prior to my figuring things out and realizing that, holy crap,
You're
Mhm.
you're
there's a
different.
power in that.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
plus I had also had an incident where, again, we were transporting. I had this voice going off in my head so that no, you are not to be doing this. You are not to be doing this now. And it nagged me the whole way in. And while I was hearing this, uh, I was hearing a bunch of traffic on the radio. And once we got done at the hospital, um, called in. That's basically when our dispatcher said that, what's your ETA back home? It's like, about 25 minutes. Why? Uh, After we had left town, there was a serious two-car collision behind us.
Mm-mm.
And I watched both helicopters from Methodist and Mercy flying out to our location. And all I could do is I told our driver, get us home now. We set a new speed record getting home.
Yeah, I bet.
And that was about 24-mile hike um, from the hospital back home. And like I said, we set a new speed record that day. By the time we got home, both helicopters were on the ground. Um, and basically, I took that one personally because a guide was trying to tell me this is not what I was supposed to be doing. And if I would have listened, I would have called ahead, got help, and we could have turned around and gone back home.
Sure.
So, I mean, that was the first indication of my guides yelling at me.
And they do yell, and sometimes it's not a voice you're gonna hear.
Hmm.
When I was 19, I was in a relationship in Puerto Rico, and they had a mini pocket Chihuahua, no bigger than maybe 12 inches or
Hmm.
smaller, and his name was Chico. And this little dog thought he was an 8 foot bear. So everything, every horse that went by or somebody, he would bark and bark, but in excess to where he's overdoing it. And in one bark, he said, "Rah!" And he just stood there and just fell on his side. And so we all got up and panicked and all this stuff. And I went downstairs. I went and wet my hand with some water. I went and got some olive oil. And I started rubbing his chest, rubbing his chest, rubbing his chest, rubbing his chest. And I chanted a few things in Spanish. Next thing you know, that dog lived for another 10 years. But that dog was dead. Literally. That dog caught a heart attack and he fell on his side. There was no breathing. His eyes were stiff. His tongue was to the side. So yes, we have the power to actually do some things in life that people cannot comprehend or be
Hmm.
scared of because they never seen it on in real life, not just on TV.
Right.
I understand that sometimes as a witch we do things differently. We say things differently because we think different. Because all in general, we are special and different. So when it comes to the uneducated person who don't really realize what a witch's purpose is, we tell them, well, I tell them, what's the purpose of the witch? It's just to make the world go round, safer, easier for everybody to live by, but understanding that the fundamentals of magic and what the universe stands for correspond with a lot of play.
Hmm. True.
So these are the things I talk to the young witches that are coming up now. As you can see, I call them all young witches.
Right.
So I
Yep.
try to school them in as much as I can. I'm getting a lot of feedback, positive feedback on the Young Witches group, on my group, and other groups that I'm affiliated with. My thing
Good.
is just to bring them all in. I have all types of solitary witches. I have pagan witches. I have wizards. I have necromancers. You name it, it's in my group. I'm trying to bring all the magical creatures under the tree to come together. Because we may not be blood family, but we all related one way or another.
Right. Right.
That's true.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
it's
So let's do
hmm
this.
it's
I'm
the
just trying to do this.
same. Yeah, it's the same thing that I hear from a lot of our pagan musicians. That when they are able to gather together and collaborate together at festivals, uh, basically every single one of them will tell you that it's like going home to family.
hmm That's how it feels. Like, for example, this is something I share with my groups every day. My motivation for me waking up and doing what I do is my groups. Every single one of them. All 2,000 some odd members that I have. And I remember maybe at least like 400 or 500 names. I'm not even lying to you. And I'm a
A
pothead,
couple
so
of
I
them, I
forget
believe,
things.
are actually with us in the comments, Earl.
Hmm.
Do you see the comments?
I am right now. The comments are not. Wait a minute. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yep, I got it now. Took a second for that to kick in. Rich, what's up, man? Rich Donahue is Cloud the Pagan Rapper,
What's going on,
and
Cloud?
definitely want to say good evening and welcome to the chat. And Jessica, appreciate you being a part of this as well. Welcome to Iowa Pagan News. And now, Rich, let's see. He says he prefers the term novice or seeker, but
Which
if
can be a
people,
term too. And that's true.
yeah,
And that's another
but
term a lot of people don't use, but they can because it's
hmm
comfortable and it coincides with the whole young thing. So novice is actually a good term, Rich. Thank you.
hmm it actually is. Yeah, so really, even though when I first heard the term, I didn't know just how to respond to it, and I really haven't responded personally to it
Mm,
because I didn't know how to put it.
right.
Um, and it's still taking me a little bit of time to gather my thoughts about it before I make a comment. Um, is it can be seen in a bad way. Some people will accept it, just like
hmm
what we've said. Um, but yeah, myself, I do prefer the term young practitioner myself or novice. That's what I
Right.
prefer.
Makes sense.
Um, yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. So I'm reaching out more to my pagan brothers and sisters because I've already reached heights of many magical creatures that I wanted to reach out to. So
Mhm.
now I'm focusing on reaching out to other witches around the world, pagans, you name it, and I'm bringing it in. I got a group, a very small group. It's a Spanish speaking group. It's called We Are Witch Latino. And the person I have that running is a high priestess from Argentina.
Mhm.
She's running that group for me while I'm sleeping. Now,
Nice.
what I'm trying to say is that
Oh my God.
my witches that I have all around me, including y'all, You are all magical in your own special way. Sometimes you may know about it. Sometimes you don't have an idea of what special you are.
This
Some
is true.
occasions, some moments in life can actually unlock that. In some occasions is a traumatic moment, like a fight with a husband, a fight with a spouse, a fight with a parent, or a good yell at the world, and next thing you know, the radio's shut off.
Sorry,
Most of
guys.
these things, it's okay. Most of these things I talk about because I have met a lot of people who experiences these gifts. Like I got a friend in Pennsylvania. His name is Jeremy. He had an episode where he was fighting with his mom and father and girlfriend at the same time, where he just yelled on top of his lung, no words, nothing. He just yelled. The whole bathroom started flickering and the music went off by itself.
Wow.
So people like this are the ones I'm finding to bring into a group where they can actually educate themselves on the gift they have so they can use it for further production and later on in life to help somebody or themselves. Because everybody has a little special in them. It can be something small. Something is grabbing someone's hand and healing them when they're in need.
We've
Our
talked a
role
lot.
is important.
That is
We've
true.
talked a lot during this about being ordained and learning under high priest and priestesses. Is that a requirement within the community? Do you think?
To an elder, yes.
To an elder, yes. Thank you.
And I've had this discussion with at least two elders so far, and they both told me the same thing, that they want our young people learning from an actual high priest or priestess,
In
because
whatever walk, but learning
right,
under somebody that is at least high priestess or priest.
right.
Right.
So that way they receive the proper training, and they can be assured that the person that they are learning from was actually taught by
By
their
someone
own,
elder than him, exactly.
right,
And
by their own high priest or priestess.
What if you have somebody who comes in that has an eclectic walk? Who do you recommend?
Well, then
well, when
that's up to them.
yeah, exactly. That'll be your personal choice. You trust your intuition on that.
I have
Hmm.
like
Because not
40 I have like 40 different people that I have learned from because of the eclectic path that I walk.
hmm
Um, does that count?
Yeah, it does. It
yeah,
does.
because I'm a solitary witch. I've been a gray witch all my life. This is all I know. This is that all I live and breathe. My elders, which was consisted of my grandmother, two more other family members, which long gone past, but everything that coincided with pagan rites and passages and way of leveling and other stuff, kind of similar with us with the solitary witch thing. But the difference is, like our sister Christy just said, some people just don't have that person to talk to, someone they can ask questions to, someone they
Hmm.
can learn from in general, so they can get their path straightened out and they can go on their own merry way. So this is
Yep.
why, again, I'm playing this role to open these doors for people because a lot of people are afraid. I
Hmm.
posted on my page and on my groups. Don't be afraid. You don't got a place to come. Come here. You'll learn something. You guaranteed, and you could probably find yourself more than what you're doing in your own room doing nothing.
Right.
Yep.
So I'm trying, and I'm
I
also
think
happy that. Go ahead.
go on.
No, no, you
That
go ahead.
that's kind of the purpose of what we're trying to do here is provide a space where we can,
Be
people come in,
ourselves.
they watch, and if somebody jives with them or somebody clicks with them, they
Hmm
have a way to connect with that person and become
Exactly.
Hmm.
educated and meet the requirements that are unspoken within the community,
There you
basically.
go. I call
Yep.
it witches helping witches.
Yep.
Right.
Which is
Now,
a really
as
good
somebody
term.
who, and I can't say that this actually applies to me. I'm the newest one on the video here, so I'm trying to think from the perspective of a new person just coming in.
hmm
Um, I've had One of my teachers was a shaman, and that was very early on for me. And I'm on the fence about whether or not I am experienced enough to take someone in and teach them what I know as I'm learning.
You can.
I
Because even
can't.
if you don't have, you can. Because even if you don't have everything correct on it, for example, I know some witches that maybe not know the whole book, but they can teach some crucial elements from the pages that are so small but are so big in information that you
Mhm.
can actually start something with that.
Yep.
And no matter what you got, Sister Christy, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Okay.
People
Mhm.
will listen. You give a good word out there and you be good to these people, and I guarantee it, they'll be good to you.
I absolutely believe that. I've seen it firsthand. Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm. And
It's
shamans, this stick, this staff, this was given to me by a shaman friend who passed away 2 years ago.
We can't see you,
I'm,
Ciarin.
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Can you see me now?
Let's see. Tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna refresh you on my end
Okay,
and have you come back in. That way it can reset.
fair enough.
Hang on just a second here.
Okay. Security.
There we go. Now I'll wait for him to come back in, and that way it should reset his cam on his end so that we can actually. There we go.
Actually, see.
Yeah,
Can you
there
see
we
me
go.
now?
There we
Yep,
go.
there we
Okay.
go.
So
I'm digging the hat, man.
thank you. So this is my staff. It's pretty long. It's like 5 feet 1 inch long.
Okay.
Every ornament you see here was given to me by my travels. This was gifted by witches, voodoo queens. There's one guy who messes with Papa Shango. Also people that are on the darker side give me a lot of things. Remember, in my groups, I never ask for a penny. All my services are always free. So instead of money, they gift me with things. I have a ceremonial double-edged blade downstairs, gifted by a sister from the group. Beautiful thing.
Excellent.
So when it comes to shamans, I know them pretty well. I've always hung out with them in my younger 20s because they were always to be around for some reason. Every time I went around, I saw a shaman. So I ended up talking to this person. Shamans are very good people. They're very
Hmm.
powerful and they're very ancient. I've seen shamans clap and rub their hands and sorry, and it starts raining.
But
Yep.
So I've learned quite a few things in the shamanic level. See, I'm that type of witch that I learn and adapt from everything I encounter in life.
mhm.
I have a guy here. He's a monk. I mean, no, he's a fry from a local Catholic church. He's not supposed to, but we talk once a week, every hour, right here in this park about witchcraft because he's interested, because he's curious, because he's questioning his own faith of Christianity. There's a discussion me and him had, and I almost thought I was going to lose his friendship on this one. There was a case not so long ago where a priest was caught doing something to a 14-year-old kid, and it was broadcast to television. So I remember the judge calling him up, and they set him free. No charges towards this priest. So I said, so it's okay for a priest to molest a boy in the eyes of your God because you're a Christian man, you're gonna get forgiven? He said, I don't follow. I'm trying to make sense of it. This guy just got away for molesting a 14-year-old child, but because he's a man of God, they set him free. How much sense do that make? Sorry, that still blows my mind.
Yep.
That still blows my mind. So you're okay with God, God fearing people, like they call them, but they can do these atrocities to these children and leaving them messed up in the head for the rest of their natural life. And while they go around and they keep on doing this thing, this is the problem I got with this Christian faith. They they're the newest kids in the religion block. They don't want to hear this. They hate it because it's true. And the religious block of all green schemes and things, they're the newest ones. If anybody's called a baby something in religion world, is them. Their Christian God, who they created through that book called the Holy Bible. I can't believe in everything in there because that's a fairy tale. I read the book 3 times. It's a fairy tale. They have dragons and unicorns. My cousin's 2-year-old kid have a book on dragons and unicorns.
Hmm.
They mentioned the unicorn 7 times in the Bible. 7 times in the Bible they mention him. So my perspective on the Bible is I think it is just a fairy tale. That's not the word of God. That's the writing of man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly.
That's what it is. So I have gotten kicked out of churches. I have beat up 3 pastors already. No lie. At the end of the day, it's all about respect. You respect mine, and I will respect yours. You have my word. But don't
Hmm.
think your religion is better or bigger than mine because at this kind of scheme of things, your precious Jesus Christ was a white witch also.
Amen. Oh my
So
God.
why did you think that the Romans did not take kindly to his gifts?
Uh,
Because he was
Hmm.
humble as hell. He was tall. He was 6'4", brown hair, black eyes, scuffy as hell, slippers. This guy was humble. He's not that white dude you see on your grandmother's portrait with white skin and blue eyes and blonde hair. That's not Jesus. That's made by the Christian faith. The real Jesus was a natural, white, powerful witch with powers beyond anybody's understanding.
Hmm.
Even till this day, I'm touching a lot of subjects because I want to touch something with you. Check this out. I did a lot of research a few years back, and I found out that the Vatican has a room dedicated to Lucifer himself.
I believe that.
This room consists of a throne. There's 2 red dogs. His name Lucifer is on the ceramic chair, and everything is painted red and black in honor of Lucifer, the morning star. Now, the Lucifer I know is not what the Christian faith calls him. The Lucifer I know gave us music. The Lucifer I know is still the morning star. The Lucifer I know is misunderstood.
yeah,
Hmm. Yep.
He's not what they say he is. If you want evil, turn to humanity. We
yeah,
have enough of it.
yeah.
True.
You want
Very
something
true.
spiritual that can help you learn something, then look into these spirit guides or deities and you learn something. So these are the things I try to teach people and talk to people every day to educate, but they tend to either choose to ignore or stay ignorant.
Right.
I still try to talk though, get the message through. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't. But all you can do is give it your best and you can try.
Yep.
Yeah, whether or not they listen isn't your concern.
At
Nope.
least you tried.
Yeah.
Exactly. In fact, it's about like the. In fact, I think I talked about this one other time. Had a lady try to it basically compared me to Hades, and
Hate,
I'm like,
Hate is a dick.
thank you.
Sorry.
All I can say, thank you. I like the dude. I respect the
He,
dude.
I only got a problem with Hades. I didn't like what he did to Medusa.
Uh, no,
He didn't. He didn't have to.
no.
We all do things we're not proud of.
But you're supposed to be a deity. You're supposed to have better standards.
Yeah, no, that's a Christian construct right there.
All right.
If I ever heard one. You're
But yeah,
supposed to be better. Well, you don't
mm,
get better unless you are not good to begin with.
and that's true. That's true.
Hmm.
You can't better someone's life if you're not bettering your own.
That's true.
That's another problem I see within a lot of witch communities. Most people who they look up to, they got more issues than you want to give them credit to, but they want to run 15 to 100 people.
Yeah,
Get your
right.
get your shit right, then you can run other people. Because while you're stuck at home and stupid, not knowing what to think about tomorrow, people are hungry.
Hmm.
There's no need for you to
Exactly.
overthink. That's another thing I talk to people about is your own self-confidence.
Hmm.
Oh,
Nobody can inspire you to be confident but yourself.
Right.
If you don't do it by looking at yourself in the mirror, inspire yourself by listening to your own voice or how you want to present things. Self-confidence is going to be a very crucial for the witch or the young witch. Because if you don't have self-confidence in, let's say, performing something as simple as a ritual bath, let's say, for example, If you're not confident in doing it, it's not going to work. Even if you got all the ingredients, because it's missing the most ingredient, which is you. 99% of these spells won't happen unless your essence is in it.
Right. That's true.
It's you who's making these things possible. Your essence, your gift, your that little thing that humans cannot describe by word because the universe don't let us. We have it in us, and it's up to us to share it or keep it within ourselves. It's a choice.
Right.
In my point, I'm doing what I'm doing now because I'm being guided, and I know I am by forces that I cannot explain. By doing this, I'm also reaching out to people. I'm uniting more witches as much as I can every week.
Mm-hmm.
This video, this is going to go a lot of places too. Yesterday's video, I shared it with all my groups.
Yeah.
So every video we see here, whether it's us or somebody else's, is going to get shared to a lot of platforms because I'm trying to unite witches. I don't care if it's me meeting y'all, but at least you get to meet another witch.
Right.
And you can bond and you can go from there. And that's how beautiful things work.
I never, you were part of that. Both of you were part of that post that I made that was like, hey, where's my pagan community at? On my personal wall.
All right.
I posted that yesterday. Do you know of the people that posted? There were 3 that I had no idea.
A lot of people out there.
Really?
But by you
You're
doing that, by you doing that, that's very courageous. I admire that because not a lot of people go out there like we discussed earlier, either ridicule, fear, or just afraid that somebody just may say something not nice.
Right.
Overpass all that. Your confidence should overcome all this. You be you, not what they want to be.
Right.
You got a message you want to give across, you teach somebody, then you teach that person.
Right.
People are always going to talk shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like what I had mentioned to the folks in your group that I'm more willing to share the knowledge that I possess.
And I don't mind.
Basically, I'm happy to do that, even though I don't consider myself to be a teacher, so to say.
But you have enough knowledge to teach.
Right. Right. And
that's the kicker right there. That's the one that's been holding me back all this time is I have the knowledge too.
Mm-hmm.
Should I?
You just don't know how to approach.
Yeah.
Let me share something. My group, my main groups, the first 3 I go to a lot. I started these groups with 5 spells apiece and a good conversation with 4 people that joined. Now I'm damn near 1,300 members 4 years later.
Cool.
And the reason it is how you approach people is how people are going to feed back to you.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I am every day. I've been like this since my teenage years. I've always been open and honest, freely spoken, and freely spirited. Go with that self-confidence on your post. Do a live every now and then. Talk to your people. You'd be surprised who you're going to meet.
I will now. I mean, like I said, that post was the first time. I mean, there were people that I knew that, you know, that they're active, they're vocal about it on their platforms, and I follow and have been watching them. So I was aware, but then like just kind of putting it out there, hey, where's my community? The thought was, you know, bring them in, introduce them, and have them come and watch the shows and grow out that way. And come to find out there were people that I had no idea were even.
And don't be surprised if you find a family member or 2 going to join your shit too, because it happened to me.
Yeah. All right. I'm not holding my breath, but I'm not going to be completely shocked when it happens. Okay.
Well, I have a 3rd generation cousin right now on my We Are Witch Latino and We Are Young Witches group. She's 16 right now. I saw this girl. I used to hold her when she was a baby, damn it. Now she's asking me for spells and how to perfect her some things in life in herbalism. Beautiful thing. So it can happen. It can happen. At the end, just say what you want to picture. For example, if you have a vision, talk on that. Build that vision around what the topic you want it to be about, and you go from there. People will start talking. Questions will be asked. You just got to be confident in yourself. That's all it takes. Most people won't even dare to do the stuff we're talking about right now.
Right.
So I give kudos to everybody who comes to your show, Brother Earl, to actually speak what they want to speak. I give a lot of kudos for that because most of these days everybody's scared for some reason.
And
Everybody's
really, that's
scared
the
to be
reason why I'm,
criticized.
yeah, that's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is to
Yeah.
encourage people to not be so afraid of
Exactly.
expressing their opinion, expressing who they are. Because right now, the way I look at it and the way I see things, the way I call it, is that it's time that we come out of hiding. It's time that we start supporting each other, standing with each other.
That's what I say
And
on my
Showing the
groups.
good that we can do
Thank you.
to overpower the
You're,
bad that
you're,
everybody's seeing.
y'all both summarizing what I did, what I talked about on my last live on Monday. Don't be afraid to speak out. Speak out. You
Mhm.
want to learn something different. There are different things to learn out there. Not everything has to do with Buddhist monks, for example. Not everything has to do with Christianity. Not have to do
Right,
with Feng Shui over there in Japan. You don't need that. You don't. It's a choice.
right.
There are many things to practice out there. Like I tell these young witches, if witchcraft isn't for you, it's not for you.
Hmm.
But keep in mind that you do witchcraft every day without knowing.
Yeah.
Every
People
day.
And
act.
Every
I'll
day.
give you a really good example here. Uh, now, basically, at, oh, we lost Christy.
I didn't leave. I'm still here.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
I gotta turn on a light. Hang on.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Uh, okay. Uh, basically, my grandmother, Williams, had passed in 90 and 1990. And it wasn't until afterwards that, after going through her home and uh, going through things, is like, come to find out that grandmother was a kitchen witch.
My mother's a kitchen witch.
And I did not realize that until after she had passed, and
Why you
plus
think? Why you think
having
we're so healthy
people,
now?
yeah, and having people coming to me telling me that they have seen her in every residence that I've lived in.
That's good.
And uh, so it's like, yeah, I truly believe that. And then, after, this was in '07, after my dad passed, that's when I had found my Native American great grandfather.
Nice. So
So,
that's where I see the native Indian from. Okay.
yes, I discovered that after my dad had passed in '07. And uh, that is when it was brought to my attention by my guides that I was given a name and I needed to look it up. Come to find out that um, he is a Native American chief from the 1800s, and he carries our family name.
Nice.
And plus, I found a picture of him, and he resembles my father.
Okay. I like things like that.
So it's like, mm-hmm,
So,
I'm
things are start
trying.
things are starting to
uh,
piece together.
yeah.
I'm trying
According
to track
to
my
that's what I'm
heritage.
doing. That's what I'm doing. According to that ancestry.com,
Hmm.
my bloodline and the last name Diaz goes all the way to royalty in Spain. We even have a family crest and emblem.
Dude, I have an entire island.
Yeah, we do. Beautiful island.
The Isle of Man in Ireland is like where my family is from.
Like the island of Puerto Rico, the witches that come from there are usually termed the Caribbean witches
Hmm.
because we are witches of the Caribbean. Nature, the sea is mostly our play.
Right.
But you have some who don't want to use that term, like myself. I consider myself like a gray witch because I do honor both light and dark. I know what they can do, and I'm very full aware of how to use them both at my disposal to help myself or others. The gray witch term is not a term you hear a lot of. So I do get a question or two daily. What is a gray witch? What do y'all do? What's the purpose of the
Mhm.
gray witch? Our purpose is to maintain balance and order, if anything,
Right.
Right.
because
I've actually,
we can't let too much light run amok, just like we can't let too much dark do what
Right.
it wants either.
right.
Right.
So we
I've
have to
actually,
be that defined middle.
hmm I've
It's
actually
not
come
easy.
across only a small handful of people who consider themselves to be a gray witch.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm
So,
part of a whole group of them on Facebook. They're from everywhere. They're all
I
over the
love
place.
I love my gray
That's how I
witches. They all
figured
right.
out what I was. Yeah.
And
uh,
let me see. One of the things that I also develop within the young witch is sometimes it could be an array of things. Telepathy,
Mhm.
um, psychic abilities. Through my research and through my understanding, 70% of humans are born with that ability. Some of them
mhm,
just don't know how to approach it, experienced it, don't know how to say about it, or just want to ignore it in general because they fear what they don't understand.
right.
Again,
Exactly.
it's up to us to encourage these kids to do this. Learn about the gift you got. Contribute it to the world. Let the universe talk to you and take you places you have never been. All you have to do is accept,
Yep.
which is the key word I'm getting into real quick. Acceptance.
Right.
hmm
Good or
Bring it.
bad, things is
Bring
gonna
it.
happen in your life. You just have to accept what it is, and you will see things differently in a different light. Trust me. When I fell and I tore my ligaments and broke my leg, I didn't cry. I didn't get angry. I actually smiled and laughed because I accepted the
hmm
accident that happened.
Yeah, it felt like me when I was a kid. Fell down a flight of stairs, collided with a brick wall, and basically snapped both bones of my wrist, right behind my wrist. And I got up, took his basically he was drooping, took one look at it, said, "Cool."
Because it's about acceptance. Everything we teach, everything we say, like you just shared that, because we accepted the wrong because of
hmm
what it is. Don't just like I tell my friends, don't be happy because you won $500 on lottery scratch ticket. Let's say you didn't win the $500 and you wasted $1. At least you gave something a try that could have bring some kind of substantial difference to your life. There's no
hmm
reason to go about it negative because that little negative of that 2 seconds that can dwell here, and you can bring that to your house. That can intensify. Now, as a witch, I see that every day. I'm going to friends and families' houses and seeing this. A little bit
hmm
of negativity can remove a whole residence of houses if you want to call it that.
hmm
So it's how you approach things also and how you consume all these things is how you're going to have an understanding of these things. Most of these kids, like I said earlier, they're lost because they're lost, they're angry. I
Right.
don't know if y'all notice about this young youth, they're always angry for no damn reason.
No,
This happened.
they're angry for a reason. Yeah,
I
there's a
say, I
reason
say,
for it. We
I,
just
I
may
say,
not
I say,
know what it is.
exactly. I say for no reason is because they don't know what the reason is for
Right.
because they don't know how to
Right.
express it.
Yep.
And there's a Dunkin' Donuts right here. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning. They just opened. I went in there and got my medium coffee. And there was four more other people and this one young dude, he's like 19, 8, maybe 20. He came into that store cursing at everybody. He cursed at me, he cursed at the white lady that was in front of me, he cursed at the cashier, and then this one guy who was a security operative, he just came in. He said, dude, what's your problem? He said, you need to mind your effing business because I'm a bonus and a lot of words I don't want to say right now. And after he got taken out, the old lady that was next to me, she was shaking. She was a little scared. I looked at her. I was like, "Are you okay?" She goes, I'm just scared." I said, "Here, grab my hand." So she grabbed my hand and she looked at my hand. She goes, "You're a healer." I'm like, "I'm a lot of things, lady. Are you okay?" She goes, "I am." I said, "Hey, you can go in front of me." She goes, "Are you sure?" I said, "You go right ahead." So the conversation goes to this guy being so angry because he woke up in a bad mood.
hmm
So because you're in a bad mood, the whole world has to hear your mouth. Instead of getting mad, do something productive with that anger. There's chaos magic. You can balance all that anger in one beautiful way if you know how to do it right. There's many ways to approach witchcraft and magic through no matter what emotion you're going through. That's
Right.
what I'm saying. Witchcraft magic is versatile as a
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It is versatile, and it that and plus, uh, I I have used this term so often is that karma, basically karma is a bitch and will come back to bite you hard. if you don't watch what you're doing.
I always tell people do the right thing.
Right.
What you put into this world is what you're going to get out of it once you're done living.
That's true. Very
That's
true.
something I've learned.
Can we agree that just being witches doesn't make life all peaches and cream, though?
No, it doesn't. We still go through our daily stresses. We still die like everybody else. We get sick. We get cold. We get flus. We break our feet. Yes, we're normal just like everybody else. We just happen to be gifted.
Amen.
That's all.
Yeah.
Very true. Okay, you want to tell people how they can go about finding you, getting in
Yes.
touch with you?
Yes, I can. My name is Ciarin Diaz. I run We Are Witch, We Are Young Witches, Mycraft, and We Are Witch Latino. I post every day. My groups are more of a beacon for people for they can come to and express their magical abilities. Because everybody has a beautiful magic ability in them, whether they want to accept it or not.
Right.
I'm always taking questions. I even do phone calls daily. I just don't do post and I don't comment. I also take phone calls. I do video chats. I do my lives for my groups. On every other group, I do a live every other day or two. I'm encouraging others to come if they want to join. And in my group, I just want you to just go there to ask questions for you to learn something you didn't learn when you didn't join.
Mm-hmm.
Get an idea of what the witch is really about. Get a feel, get a taste. Get a taste of religion and lick a witch.
There you go.
Lick a witch.
You know what I mean? Try it out, for example. It could be a flavor you never had in your mouth before. I'm just trying to make an example here. So there's.
Yeah, I'm sold.
Sorry, I have a way with words.
All good. All good. I mean,
Yep.
I'm going to admit something. I'm going to make a confession right now. I Facebook stalked you.
A lot. Look, a lot of people Facebook stalk me, and I don't mind. All I really want is just people to come up and be honest and ask what they want to ask. That's all. Because if you don't come to me, there's going to come a time where we'll come to you.
Yep.
Because your interest in everything actually gives out an energy that makes me want to pique my interest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was really exciting for me leading up to this.
Mm-hmm. Everything happens for a reason.
Actually, have the face-to-face conversation with you because we've had some great conversation without there being a whole lot of words exchanged.
Exactly. You don't need that much. Just get the message.
Right.
Just get the message through.
Yep.
So yeah, thank you for that. I mean,
thank you.
The love and appreciation that you've come and shown in my space, and the way that you've allowed me to come in and be visible in your space.
Yeah, it's all about opportunity. I believe in equal opportunity for every witch. Every witch has opportunity to be himself or herself. It's just a question of timing. Like you just said, we weren't supposed to meet at a better time because this was supposed to happen.
Right.
It could have been tomorrow. It could have been yesterday when we talked, but it didn't happen. It had to happen now. Yeah. That's just the way things work, and we just have to accept these things.
Exactly. Okay, folks, we have been having a really good conversation with Ciarin Diaz, and he is most definitely considered to be a spiritual brother and a knowledgeable person that I'm going to be keeping in contact with. I'm pretty sure that we're going to be having many more discussions.
Oh yeah! Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if sometime I end up in Iowa and pay you a visit, because I do that.
Very good. Bring it
I'm
on.
45 years old. I'm married once, and I have no children, so I do travel.
Get up and go.
Yep. Get up and go.
Go where it takes you. Yeah.
Trying to reach out to as many witches I could find, y'all.
Very cool.
Before we go, I have one witch I want to share that nobody knows about. I have a Saudi prince in my group who studies with me once a week, hidden from his own culture.
Yes.
So the reach goes as far as you want it to go. If I'm able to talk to a Saudi prince about witchcraft, herbalism, that means we can reach anybody we want if it's just the right wording.
Right. Right.
Very true. Very true.
I almost convinced the blind man he could see. He was drunk, but that's a long story.
Well, there are other ways of seeing
Yeah,
besides,
exactly. You don't
yeah,
need your sight to see everything.
right. All right, folks. As always, if you have questions later on, email us directly at iwithpagannews@gmail.com. Otherwise, you can reach me directly at earl@iapnradio.net. And then also, let's see, I know that you had put in your, yeah, uh, Christy put in her email address here. And actually, go ahead and tell them your email address here, Christy.
It's Christy at ChristyManAuthor.com. It's also the title of my webpage,
Nice.
ChristyManAuthor.com.
My
Cool.
email is graywitch76@gmail.com.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Any questions? Feel free.
Send them
All
our
right.
way. We're happy to help.
You've been listening to another edition of Iowa Pagan News on the Prairie Land Radio Network, and we will be joining you again next week. We have a lot more special guests to get to, including, like I said, next Wednesday on our regular Wednesday night chat. We're going to be speaking with Terry Nelson Ireland, who is the
Nice.
owner of Metaphysical Times newspaper.
Talking about. I
Which,
want to meet him.
yeah, Terry is a fantastic woman. She's, uh,
Her. Sorry, had
yep,
to change her cables.
yeah, yeah. So basically, to my knowledge, she has the very first actual newspaper in the pagan community.
Really?
Yeah, because everything else I've ever seen has been in a magazine form.
In a magazine, exactly. Not
Right,
newspaper. Okay, I like
right.
that.
I noticed while I was Facebook stalking her today, her page today, that she's actually looking for distributors for the paper. It's
Right.
free.
Yep.
I can help with that. What's her name? Send me a link for her name,
Yep. I will
and
get that.
I can help you. I can help her distribute this all types of ways here in New England. Look, a lot of people are not aware. There are more dominated pagan witches here in New England than people want to give them credit for.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So if I can get this pamphlet and help this lady, I'm pretty sure the pagan community will be more than what they are now.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
It's
All
all
right.
about reach.
Yep.
It's all about
Exactly.
reach. Because I think what I'm figuring out is that we're all among us are really well connected already and willing to help each other out. I think we need to be willing to help each other get our reach out there
That's what
more
we're
than
doing.
we've been
Yep.
doing today.
We're on our way.
That's the unity. Yay,
Hmm.
Earl.
And
Yay, Earl.
on behalf of Christy, myself, Sarah here, and also Ciarin, I want to say good evening, everyone. Pleasant journeys, and we will be talking with you again next week. Have a good night, and we are out of here for the evening.
Peace.